Hola, ¿cómo estás? Es día número 28 de Desafío de las 90 días y hoy yo quiero hablar acerca de Rosetta Stone y machine learning y comprehensible input. What's up, guys? It's day 28 of the 90-day challenge to learn Spanish, and today I want to talk about the Rosetta Stone, comprehensible input, and machine learning and how they all tie in together. Real quick, if you guys want to support me, go ahead and check out my link in the description for signing up to Link, which is the website I'm using to learn Spanish, and I'll talk about that later on. It's free to sign up, and then if you do upgrade to the paid version, I go ahead and get a kickback from that. So appreciate it, guys. Let's go ahead and jump into it. The Rosetta Stone was a stone found in Egypt that basically had the exact same text in two languages, which one was the ancient Greek language, which they could read, and one was the Egyptian hieroglyphics, which they could not read. And if you just have a written form of language and you have no context, you cannot figure it out, basically. And since they had the context of another language, and the texts were saying the exact same thing, they were able to figure it out. The same goes to verbal input. If I went ahead and told you and you didn't speak the language, I said cerdito, cerdito, abre la puerta. I could say that 1,000 times, and without any context you would never get it. Now if I went ahead and showed you that a wolf was saying it, or you might not get it. If I showed you that the wolf is knocking on a door and saying it, you might not get it. If I told you there was a little pig inside and then I said it, you might be getting an idea. And then if I said it's the story of the little pigs, and cerdito, cerdito is little pig, and then abre is open, la puerta, the door, you'd get it. So the comprehensible part comes after getting all that information, and it's just input if you do not understand it. So going into neural networks work similar to the human brain in regards to neural networks have to be trained with a massive amount of input, and it has to be comprehensible, meaning it has to know whether it's right or wrong. So for instance, if the neural network is trying to recognize a face, like my camera right now is showing me a box around my face, if I was trying to train it to do that, I could show it 1,000 or 100,000 pictures of some with faces and some of not faces, and as it's learning, if I didn't tell it whether it was right or wrong, it would never be able to figure it out. It has to know whether it's right or wrong, and that plays into the comprehensible input of language learning and how I think it applies in regards to Link. I can read and there's no context if I don't understand any of it, especially in the beginning. That's how everybody starts off. But immediately I can click on the word and it's translated into English, and it shows me what the word is, and I can comprehend it immediately. Now I'm gonna have to see it 1,000 more times to know what that word means, but it's the most simple way to do it. If someone was telling me something, it's so much harder to actually know exactly what the word is. So if I said cerdito, I might not hear it correctly, and I can't comprehend like the correct word. Someone could say cerdito, that means little pig, but if I comprehend it as cerdito, I wouldn't understand. So again, the best way is to actually see it in writing, because that way you can read it and you can't mess up on your reading. And then with Link, you actually hear it every time you click on it, so that brings in a little bit more. And so essentially that's what I've learned so far from 28 days of learning Spanish using Link. I'm not trying to understand, I'm not trying to learn, I'm not racking my brain or anything like that. I'm not thinking real hard. I've just progressed this far without trying. It's so weird. Every morning I talk to the camera in some Spanish, and I don't have to think about what I'm trying to say. I just think, and if I can say it, I say it, and if I don't, if I can't say it, I can't say it. It's not like I'm really thinking about what I'm going to say. Super weird. And the cerdito, cerdito, abre la puerta, I did not try and memorize that. I was literally just driving and it popped into my head, and I'm like, what? I've read that story a couple times. I've also read Hansel and Gretel, I've read Goldilocks and the Three Bears, I've read a bunch of other childhood stories, and it's super enjoyable because I haven't heard them since I was very little, and they're a little bit different in Spanish, and I get to read them and it's difficult, and then I can listen to them later on. So all in all, that is day 28 of learning Spanish, and I hope you guys stick around. Let me know in the comments any questions, any tips, and if I'm thinking about trying to do some kind of challenge for day 30 or day 31, maybe a 12-hour session of italki tutoring, or just 12 hours of studying stream. But yeah, appreciate all your guys' support, and I will see you guys tomorrow in day 29.